Western Spring Television. Ours it is.
Good day, viewers at home. This is Pertinent Questions, and it's a pleasure to be with you again with my guest today on Pertinent Question. In few weeks' time, we shall be crossing the border of 2022 and entering 2023, which is believed to be a special year for the Nigerian state, a special threshold in the annals of this nation, because a major presidential election we hold. And people are asking the question, who should steer the ship of this nation? Who are qualified by the antecedent to be the captain of the ship of the nation? Today on this program, I have a journalist, and of course, a very erudite public analyst. Though he stays in America, but is very much involved in the polity and the affairs of the Nigerian state. My guest today is Chief Remi Oyeyemi. Welcome on the program, sir.
Thank you very much.
It's good to see you.
It's a pleasure to be here.
It's good to have you back home after such a long time.
Yeah.
No, we never missed you anyway because we read you every day on so many platforms, contributing to the discourse of the Nigerian state. How is it coming home after such a long time?
Well, like you said, I'm not really very far from home, though we stay, abroad, but we are very conversant. Home is always home, no matter what. And this is where we are all going to retire. So we must, as of necessity, be concerned about the well-being, the progress, the welfare of our country. So I've not really been very far away from home.
So thank you. Yeah. It's a pleasure to have you.
Yeah.
Now, let's cut to the chase.
Yeah.
Next year, 2023, Nigerian presidential election we hold. There are too many contenders. But people will believe there are 4 serious contenders. I don't know whether you believe that.
Okay.
We have Atiku Abubakar, Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, Kwankwaso, and Mr. Peter Obi. Nigerians are saying that the times are hard, that the nation is in cul-de-sac economically. We have security challenges everywhere. What do you think should be the major attribute and character of the man that Nigerians will give the mandate to lead them for the next 4 years, starting from next year?
Yes. I think the most important thing is capability. The ability to turn the situation in which we find ourselves presently, to turn it around. So, and there is evidence of track record, trajectory for each and all of the candidates. Those who have been vice presidents, those who have been governors. I'm not sure Kwankwaso. I think Kwankwaso has only been a member of parliament or something.
No, he was governor. He was governor Kano,
yeah, okay.
Two-time governor.
Yes, two-time governor. So their track records will speak for them. So that should not be a difficult decision, as far as I'm concerned, because a Yume war, I'm sorry to use that because this is our language.
It is allowed.
Yeah, a Yume war, but at the same time, if we wanted to be guided by our corporate interest, the interest of the common man on the street, because the essence of politics is economy. And if the economy is not doing fine, there is no security, then I'm not sure what else we could be talking about politically. So what we need is somebody who has been able to show its track record as a governor or vice president, in the days of yore, and then we can now use that to be part of the criteria that we're gonna base our judgment on.
Sir, I've read you a lot on so many platforms, and I love your social engagement. It's obvious that you are a very vocal and a committed campaigner for restructuring of the Nigerian state. How are you so convinced that the antidote to our problem is restructuring?
Well, restructuring is very important. I'm not sure if it is not too late now. But if we really want this country to survive, maybe some people can be convinced that, okay, maybe there's no need to break up the country. Maybe we should restructure. I remember I interviewed Odume Gojuku, sometime around 1990 or 89. So we were talking and he spoke in Yoruba. He said, I want to go boli. Chicken. Very fluent Yoruba, and what he was referring to is the inequalities embedded in our system. And in a system where there is inequality, then obviously that's an injustice. And where there is injustice, there can never be peace and progress. So if anybody comes to tell me that he doesn't believe in restructuring, then that means he does not believe in Nigeria. He wants Nigeria to die. Because normally Nigeria will just die. Because when there is injustice, there will be no peace, there will be problem. Gradually it starts. But for those who pay attention, or those who are very familiar with history, they know that gradually those legal structures of government will be deemed illegal. People will no longer want to obey them. They will no longer want to respect them because they believe they cannot get what they deserve from that system. And when that happens, then the state is going to crumble. So the best thing is to start with restructuring, and the earlier the better, because already some people in this country believe that restructuring is just too late. It's too slow.
That's my next question. You did say that it may be too late for us to start restructuring.
Yeah.
Are you making reference to the fact that we now have activists who are campaigning for Yoruba Nation, campaigning for Igbo Nation, the IPOB, and some people even say the North can stand on their own? Are you saying the center is not holding already and things are falling apart to that extent?
Let me tell you this. Between 1997 and 2003, I did an extensive research on what can we do to make sure that Nigeria survives. I still have the records. And some of the things I found out is that most countries that have survived, that are very successful, on that list we had 189 countries. And on the list of the 189, Nigeria was 184. The first 25, I studied them, what made them successful. The last 25, I studied them, what made them failures. The first 25, 3 things are common to them. They speak the same language, they practice the same religion, and the third one, I think they're of the same ethnic stock. Some of those 25, where they are not completely or 100% of the same ethnic stock, there is a dominant ethnic nationality of like 70 to 75%. So they determine the course of that country. So in Nigeria, the Yoruba have their own cosmological view and philosophical view of the world. The Igbos have their own. The Hausa have their own. The Fulani have their own. The TV people have their own. The Birom people have their own. So when we all come to Abuja to talk, most of the time we are talking from the perspective of our own cultural milieu, of our own philosophical understanding. So most of the time we do not understand each other.
Well, people say that there is strength in diversity. United Kingdom, for instance, we have the Wales, we have Scotland, we have English, we have the North Ireland.
The answer to that question is given by Sir Ahmadu Bello. When Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe was talking to Ahmadu Bello, he told Ahmadu Bello, please, let us forget our differences. And Ahmadu Bello said, no. We can't forget our differences. Let us understand it and appreciate it. Right. So if we all...
Are you saying we have not really understood our differences?
No, not yet. Even if we do, we are not willing to respect it. I want an Hausa man to respect my culture like I will respect his own, or an Igbo man's own, or a TV man's own. If we respect our own cultures, and then we know the differences, then we can say, okay, I know where you are, you know where I am. What can you give? What can I give? for us to come together to the table and negotiate an existence. Yes, there is strength in a diversity, but a diversity that is unequal. For example, the state of Delaware in U.S. is a very small state compared to a state of Pennsylvania or Texas or California.
That's right.
But they have equal representation in the Senate. Yeah. It's not based on the bigness.
But the House of Rep is different.
But the House of Rep is because it's based on population. That's a reflection
of what we practice in Nigeria too. Yeah, the senatorial 3-3, exactly. But the House of Rep reflects the population.
But the problem is this, that we don't have here. The state of Delaware has its own army, just like every other state in the U.S. I'll give you an example. Jimmy Carter was president of the United States.
Yes,
Bill Clinton was the governor of Arkansas, and they had disagreement. So Jimmy Carter was going to bring in the national troops, and then Bill Clinton disagreed and brought out his own army to prevent any entrance into a state. That is federalism. We don't have it here in Nigeria. Why should we have a national police? Why can't we have a police command in Osogbo?
When every insecurity is local.
Exactly.
Security matters are local issues.
Politics is local, my dear brother.
And even security.
Yeah, and security.
Is local.
You can never find a national police in US. Every state has its own, which is very, very minimal, but it is actually limited to the local governments, to the county governments.
Chiwuyemi, do you subscribe to somebody's postulation that there are Nigerians, but there's no Nigeria?
I don't know if there are Nigerians. We are all Nigerians just by mouth. I will tell you why. I'm a Yoruba man.
First and foremost.
First and foremost. And I'm a Jesha man. So when I have children, I treat them as Ijeshas and as Yorubas, with Yoruba philosophies, Yoruba culture, Yoruba tradition. Even when we are in US or you go to UK, people know the difference between a Yoruba man and an Igbo man because of our behaviors, which are parts of socialization within a cultural milieu. So that's the way it is. So, I mean, if I say I'm a Nigerian, I can't say I have a very specific culture I can ascribe to other than the Yoruba one. The same way an Igbo man, the same way an Hausa man or Tiv man. So we are just deceiving ourselves if we pretend to be this Nigerian, but essentially, uniquely, our essence is who we are. Because when we were born, we were given some socialization process that shows, okay, this is our bias. It doesn't mean that others are not good or they are bad, no. But it is important that we recognize this fact. And if we recognize this fact, we can come together.
That takes me to the next question.
I know what you want. I know you know what I want. Okay, what can you give? What can I give?
That takes me to the next question, Chief Oyeyemi.
Yeah.
Reading you on social media platforms, there's no doubt that you are a Yoruba Patriot.
Yes.
I'm very unapologetic about it.
And no apology.
Do you think, and do you believe the Yoruba nation has had a fair share of the fortune of this nation? But that's the beliefs of some people. That the Yorubas have been president a couple of times. That
I don't know what they call fair share. I don't know what they call fair share. Because if you really want to break it down, in 1999, what Yoruba wanted was not what was given to us.
But you had presidency. Obasanjo was made president.
Obasanjo was made president, but if you look at the predominant desire of the Yoruba man, it's not Obasanjo, it is Olufalaye.
Yeah.
But because of those other people in Nigeria, it's okay, we will give them a Yoruba man, but a Yoruba man that they liked, not that we wanted.
But that's the beauty of democracy. Majority will have their way, minority will have their say.
That is why people say Yoruba have not had a fair share of what they want in Nigeria.
Are you saying that Obasanjo is a lesser Yoruba than Olufalaye?
But
or just because of the fact that it wasn't the choice of the Afenifere?
If you say, like you said, the politics and democracy is a game of numbers.
That's right.
And then we have a mainstream political organization that represents the majority of the Yoruba people that says this is what we want. And then so our detractors, I won't call them enemies, because that's what Awolowo will say. We will call them detractors. Our detractors believe that, okay, so you want Yoruba president. Okay, we'll give you somebody. Not what you want. So at the end of the day, the purpose was defeated. The purpose was defeated. And if you look what Obasanjo did, I mean, he never even catered to any interest of the Yoruba people.
Well, he was president for 2 terms.
He was president for 2 times. I even used to say to a lot of people that Obasanjo did not represent the Yoruba with an able father, which he has not there.
But the question I want to ask you,
yes.
should Nigerian president represent his ethnic group or represent the Nigerian nation? If you want to emerge and want to have nationhood.
I agree with you. When you are a president, you are the president of everybody.
That's right.
But unfortunately, in a system where all things are not equal, then some people get shortchanged, and it is not fair. You see, in some of the things that I've written, what I'm requesting for the Yoruba nation is what I'm requesting for Igbo nation, or the Fulani nation, or the Hausa nation,
what are you requesting
nations.
for?
What I'm requesting for is equality, balance, justice. I mean, I believe that people have been talking about federal character, which subverts meritocracy. Well, if that is the price we need to pay to have unity, I don't have any problem. But it has to be based on certain standards, not just bring somebody who scored 30 over 400 into a university, and my son who has 300 over 400 or 290 over 400 will not get admission. What kind of country is that?
But if you just spoke about equity, fairness, and unity now, that these things can promote and deepen unity. If federal character was inserted into our constitution to promote unity, meritocracy again, are they not antithetical?
They are not antithetical, because if they properly socialize the system in a way that an Hausa man can actually compete and get higher marks, but what belongs to them will be given to them. But it is not fair, because we are killing the country. If you want to destroy a nation, the first thing you do is education. Because the doctors you train will start killing people. The pharmacists you train will start poisoning people. The lawyers you train will start, messing up the system. And that's what we are seeing, because they don't know what they are doing. So there has to be a minimum standard. So if they don't have it now, we can work to ensure that within the next 5-6 years, they have it. So that we give them the proper educational setting whereby they can be able to study and meet at par with their counterparts across the country.
So how do you ensure that we don't leave some people behind when we are trying to ensure meritocracy? That a section of the country is not sidelined or shortchanged.
Good. Let me put it this way.
By virtue of their disadvantages.
Let me put it this way. There are so many areas of human endeavor where all of us can be very useful. I served in Benue State, in Katsina to be specific, before I came to Makurdi. In Katsina to Ogoja, it's like maybe I don't know how many miles, but it's like 1 hour drive.
Okay.
If you see the plantain that was harvested in Ogoja, myself alone cannot lift a pad.
Wow.
If you now travel up north, come to Katsina and then the north of Katsina, the kind of yam you will see, very big, mangoes, very big. So we can have diversion of economic interest. That every section of the country will be how do I put it? Will be I don't want to use the word exploited, but will be helped to appeal to their strength
and give a sense of belonging.
A sense of belonging
as part of your whole.
Exactly. So all of us don't have to grow yam. All of us don't have to grow cocoa or kola nut, whatever. But we appeal to the strength of every section.
And that can only happen when there's understanding, collaboration, and partnership.
Exactly.
Okay, I will take you on some people believe that the Yoruba people have been over-pampered in the business of governing Nigeria. But it's going to be after this break.
Okay.
Viewers, my guest has been Chief Remi Oyeyemi, a journalist based in America, a Yoruba Patriot, and Ijesha Patriot. I'll be asking him questions about Ijesha land and Yoruba land and his views about the Nigerian nation after this. But don't forget that you can join the conversation on YouTube channel at Western Spring Television. My name is Femi Adefola. See you after this debate. You welcome back, Chief Remi Oyeyemi.
Thank you.
Chief Olusegun Obasanjo run 2 terms as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Yes.
Now we have Professor Yemi Osinbajo running 2 terms as Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Yes. The question others are asking, what else do Yorubas want in the cake of the Nigerian state?
Yeah, we can ask the same question. What else do the Igbos want after Obasanjo's presidency? Obasanjo's father is Joseph Onyejekwe from Enugu, an Igwe, and he cannot deny.
Can you substantiate
Yes, we have it, and that's why he has not been able, he has never said anything to contradict.
Can you substantiate that?
Yes, the Igbos have had their turn, if you want to say, because if we use patriarchy to judge it.
That narrative substantially remains at the realm of rumor.
It's not
Nobody
rumor. It's not rumor. It's not rumor. The only thing that Obasanjo can do is to come out and deny it. They will bring out some things that will confirm that he's an Igbo man. So we have Obasanjo, Olusegun Obasanjo, Akinile Baba, Kamaniti Yeye. We cannot reject him because he has an Igbo father.
Obasanjo is the Ebora Uwalugu.
We all know that.
He's from Uwu Kingdom.
Yeah,
and he lays claim to Uwu.
That's where his mother comes from.
He even has a village where his father comes from.
Yes, you know, you are talking, I have 2 nieces from Igbo women. They went to their hometown to celebrate, and they come back. So am I going to say that they are not Igbos because they are Yorubas? So if we are going to use that criteria,
are you saying by any friends that Obasanjo pandered to the wishes and the wills of Igbos more than the Yorubas?
More than he did for Yoruba. Just look at his appointments. What's the name of this? Apart from that, I'm talking about the special advisors, all those people. They were the ones who determined the fortune of that government. Yes, they were the ones who determined the fortunes of Obasanjo government. He was actually, he was.
Well, we had the Yoruba ministers in that administration.
Yeah, we have some.
We had the likes of Bodi George who called the shots.
Yes, we always.
They were very dominant political figures.
Don't we have Igbos in this administration too? We have them. During the Jonathan administration, the same thing. So the bottom line is that because we are Nigeria, we are still going to have a mixture of everybody in every government.
It's not the bit of nation building to hunt for the best of hands across ethnic divides in Nigeria.
Okay, if we are going to do that, then we must really believe in what I would like to call clean elections. We don't, for example, let me use the present situation as the case. All the political parties agree that we're going to have a Southerner as the presidential candidate of all the parties. Let's use the PDP. Let's use the PDP. They agreed that, but eventually, if a Northerner emerges as the presidential candidate, then they will change the chairmanship of the party to the Southern. That's why Wike is fighting. So now, Atiku is now there as the PDP president, as the candidate. But they are refusing to change, to abide by agreement. So if those kind of things are happening, and I'm a Yoruba man, or and I'm Wike, or and I'm somebody in the South, how am I supposed to believe that my interest is going to be guaranteed in that government? It's difficult to say because we have a system. You see, the nature and character of the Nigerian state is such that it is not geared towards unity and success and progress. Nigeria is going to fail, whether we like it or not.
Fail?
Yes.
How?
Because we are not doing what we are supposed to do. There is no respect for law. Our leaders break the law at will. We don't respect the common man on the street. They are being impoverished every day. You think it will go on like this? It will get to a point whereby nobody will be able to control them. Not even there is no amount of armored tanks that will be able to stop them.
Now we have another chance, another opportunity.
It is another opportunity.
Another threshold next year.
Yes.
What do you think Nigerians should do differently so that we don't get to the precipice or to that cul-de-sac that we just painted? That sounds to me like a fear-mongering.
Yes, it's not fear-mongering. It is reality. You see, if you want me to give you historical examples, I can give you.
Please do.
Yes. For example, when the people of Russia were complaining, the Tsars didn't think they are talking about anything until the 1917 revolution occurred. The French Revolution that occurred in 1789, it didn't start that time. It's been there for like 200 years. People have been complaining. before it got to a point where everything got busted. Then we are talking of Iranian Revolution of 1979, 1980. For 15 years, Khomeini was in France complaining about Reza Pahlavi. The Americans were supporting him. But when it got to a point when the people could no longer take it, what did they do? Not even Americans or anybody could stop them. We remember this man in Philippines. He was so dastardly, assassinating people, killing people. But when people were fed up, they got rid of him. It's going to happen in Nigeria. Somebody said that Nigerians can never have a religion. We don't need to have joint because the man in Kano may not believe.
Are you suggesting that revolution is imminent in Nigeria?
Well, if we refuse to take care of business,
why can't we use the political process,
yes,
democratic process,
yes,
to cause a revolution for the emergence of a fair-minded leader that will galvanize Nigerians towards the purpose that we desire?
That is my wish. But unfortunately, those who are in political power, they have ears but they cannot hear. They have eyes they cannot see. They are in a cocoon of their enjoyment and their power mongering.
But if you are in a democracy, people yes, have the right to vote or to vote those people out.
The question we have to answer is that, are the elections reflections of the people's wish all the time?
It's getting better. We have beavers now.
But not everybody is
performing the magic.
Not everybody is patient. And you have to understand that in every society, it takes few or a handful to cause problem for the entire system. What we need is just responsible leadership that will cater to all cadres of the society fairly, just fairly. I mean, when kids go to sit for JAM and they cannot get admission, if despite the fact that they passed, so what kind of sermon are you going to preach to him? He has done the needful. He has done everything he's supposed to do. And then you want to tell him, don't worry, Nigeria is going to be okay. He's not going to listen to you.
In our collective clamoring
yes,
for purposeful leadership,
yeah,
better leadership, democratic leadership,
yeah,
and leaders that are empathic about the Nigerian state, people say that often we blame the leaders, then we exempt the followers. That we have a complacent followership in Nigeria, that they don't even know what they want. So if you take money to vote for somebody 5,000 naira, that means you have mortgaged your next 5 years.
But
is it because they weaponize poverty, or people are just not committed to their deeds of democracy?
That narrative, I don't buy it. You know why I don't buy it?
Why?
Because that is not what used to be. It's a new phenomenon. In days of Awolowo, it is the members of the party who contributed money to finance the party, and they have a say in what the party does.
That has since changed.
It has changed. So if they have changed, I don't believe our followers, maybe they are a little bit complacent, but they are following the examples being given by the leaders. They have been patient for so long, expecting our leaders to do the right thing. But when it was no longer forthcoming, then it was everybody to himself, God for us all. And those are the reasons why we are going to have problems in this country if it is not quickly changed.
But we have had examples all over the world.
Yeah, for example,
the Arab Spring is a case in focus, and we have pockets of demonstrations all over the world to force the hands of government and those in political leadership to do the right thing.
Yes.
People say Nigerians don't want to do that. They just want
They have not got to the point. It's not that they don't want to do it. They have not got to the point. They are going to get to the point, and when they get to the point, it's going to be spontaneous, and that's what I want us to prevent. Because if it is spontaneous, the consequences will be dire. Either for those who are in government or for those who are outside the government, innocent souls will pay the price. That is why the leaders have to come together right now to do the needful before it is too late. This 2023 is an opportunity for them to redress what the problems are and pull back the hand of the clock towards destructive revolution.
You live in the United States,
yes,
where everything works.
Yes.
We live here, and I witnessed NSAS. It wasn't a palatable experience.
Exactly.
We don't want a repeat of that.
Exactly.
Or for you to gather together and even up the scale of their demonstration. Now we are 2023.
Yes.
What kind of leadership, political leader, amongst those just need to be president, will you say, as a person, Nigerians to use their votes to back?
Well, I cannot decide for anybody. I can only express my own view.
Okay.
Some people will agree with me, some people will disagree with me.
It's a constitutional right.
Yes. But looking at the Nigerian political situation right now, to me, of all the candidates, I can't see anyone that is good enough. So we are now forced to choose one out of the bad ones on the stage. So if we are going to choose bad ones, a lot of other factors will come in. First and foremost is ethnicity, whether we like it or not.
Should be a consideration.
Yes.
Where it comes from.
Yes.
Why should that be a consideration?
The reason why it should be a consideration is this. For example, we have had Muhammad Buhari for 8 years.
That's right.
He's a Fulani man. Atiku, my boss and my friend, is also a Fulani man. In a country whereby we have 374 or more ethnic nationalities, why should only one ethnic nationality spend 16 years in power to the detriment of others? Is that fair?
So to you, it's a consideration?
It's a consideration. I'm not saying Atiku is not competent, but the Fulanis are not the only one in this country.
So you are ready to sacrifice competence and ability to deliver the goods at the altar of ethnicity?
All of them have a modicum of competence in varying degrees. And then, if we look at presidency, it's not the president that does the work. It's the people that surround him, the kind of people he picks, the kind of people that advises him. But at the same time, for symbolic need of the fact that we all belong to this same country, that this country belongs to all of us, I'm not going to be able to vote for Atiku, for example,
okay,
for that reason.
That ticks the box for that.
That ticks the box. Not that he's not capable. He's my boss, he's my friend. I know.
But at the altar of ethnic consideration,
yes,
he does not tick the box for you?
No.
Okay.
Because it's going to give the rest of the country a sense of not belonging. Okay, this country does not belong, and it's going to create further problem. Because when we talk about countries is not the physical buildings you see, it's not the passport we carry around, it's not just the army or the police. No, that's not the symbols of the country. A country is in the heart of the citizen. Without any prompting, it will be patriotic. We have to beg people to be patriotic in Nigeria. Is that the country?
No.
No. So for us to have sense of belonging, to really know that, okay, this country belongs to all of us, we have to create that situation that will, foster and encourage that kind of mentality. Okay. That is one. So another variable that will come in is the competence that we are talking about. So what are their records? So for me, I've eliminated Atiku. Then we have Peter Obi,
Asiwaju
and Kwankwanso. Yes.
And there are other contenders anyway.
Yeah, there are other contenders. So
except you see them as pretenders, not really contenders.
Well,
that argument is out there.
Yes, it's possible. So now, for me, as a player and as an analyst, there are some things that some of us know that we cannot put out there. But I would just advise people to think very well before they vote. Myself as a person, I'm not enamored by the politics of Asiwaju Tinubu, but there are some good things about him that we cannot afford to kick to the side. We have to consider. As for Peter Obi, I can say that I know him fairly well because we were together in Atiku's campaign in 2018. So for about 10 months, we were together, so I know him. And to me, he's not good enough. He's not the kind of president that we need. There are some things.
But it's the choice of the youth. He has a massive youth.
But you just said democracy is a game of numbers.
That's right.
Then let's see. If they vote for him, then we live with the consequences. When we were telling them that Buhari is not good, we told them in 2014, 2013 that Buhari was not good. Actually, from 2011, when they started mooting the idea that we should look for another person, they said we should keep quiet, that we should get out, we should get lost. But the tragedy of the situation is that those who voted for him are not the only one living out the
consequences.
The consequences, the tragedy of his administration.
Some supporters of Buhari will not agree with you.
They don't have to agree, but the facts are there. The facts are there. I'm not begging them to agree, because if they go to the market, they're not going to say, because I vote for Buhari, they will sell Gari to you at a cheaper price. Or the rice. I bought rice. The last time I bought rice, I gave it to one of my aunts, a bag. I bought it at 12,000 naira. And I think 3 or 4 days ago, I bought it at 40,000 naira. Some people, their salary have not increased for about 8 years, and yet they still have to buy from the same market. But so they don't have to agree with me.
If I get you right,
yes,
it means Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu swings the pendulum for you, as it were.
It swings.
But
it swings
people see him as the harbinger of the tragedy you call Buhari.
Yes, it is true. And to me, I believe that, he committed a very grave error.
So how do you want to trust him again? I want to trust his sense of judgment.
Yes. The reason why I have no choice is not that I really want to, but I don't have a choice. If it's okay, let me give you this analogy. Maybe you understand me.
Yeah.
You are in your room, and then a thief came with a gun. There's no way of escape. Whether you fight him, he will kill you. If you don't fight him, he will kill you. Or then why don't you take the chance? You can be lucky. You never know.
Put up a fight.
You put up a fight, and maybe at the end of it, you can still be alive. But if you don't put up a fight and just allow him to have his way,
and die cheaply,
that is not good enough. That is the situation we are with Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. There are some things that are still going to come out in the course of all this campaign about Peter Obi and the rest of them, even Tinubu himself. Kwankwaso, I don't think I have any information.
Some people believe that Asiwaju Tinubu, despite what you said, that he has a record of performance, or people even say he has eyes for ideas and for good heads. People say he comes to the table with a lot of baggage.
There's no doubt about it. I'm not going to defend lies. I'm not going to. I remember Professor.
Don't you know integrity is key?
Yes, but among all of them, who has integrity? Mention one.
Peter Obi.
Where? Peter Obi? Okay, just wait. You will soon find out that he has no integrity. Somebody who lies like a snake, giving us wrong figures every minute, every time. Is that the man you call he has integrity? You are a presidential candidate. You can't get your facts straight. You talk to millions of people and you just say anything that comes from your mouth that cannot be ascertained, that cannot be, that are not credible. And is that a man of integrity? When I was in high school, if you are going to be my senior prefect, you can't be lying the way you won't even have the choice, the opportunity to do so.
To deliver effective political leadership,
yes,
you must have sound mind and sound earth.
Yes.
How earthy is Asiwaju Ahmed Bola
I don't
Tinubu?
know. I can't speak to something I don't know.
You are taking a risk with him.
Yes, I'm taking a risk with him. But people are saying that he is old. Is Joe Biden not old? Donald Trump is even older than him. The leaders in China, they are usually in their late 70s, early 80s, and they have performed very well. It's not a matter of age. It's a matter of what do you have to offer. We have so many young people in Nigeria. Many of them are crooks and criminals. I'm very sorry to say.
All these leads of incoherence that we hear on his campaign trail,
yes,
do they matter or they don't matter at all? Is it not a measure of his mental state and his readiness for leadership?
What's
to be president of Nigeria and govern over 200 million people is a big task.
Yes, so
and it takes toll on people's heads.
That's a very fantastic question. What's the difference between somebody who allegedly, as you have said, makes gaffes, and somebody who consciously lies all the time, like Peter Obi? What's the difference between the two? Tell me. It doesn't mind whether you are sick or you are healthy. If you have the habit of doing something that is not acceptable almost all of the time, then you cannot be acceptable as a leader. Like I told you, not all, among all the candidates on the table, All of them are very bad, but we have to choose one.
Why do you think Peter Obi enjoys massive support
Because
of the
people don't
youthful
know him.
population?
Because they don't know him. They don't know him.
But he has endeared himself to them.
Remember when we were talking about Buhari in 2014, some people were raising the issue of his credentials. And somebody said, even if he has NEPA bill, we are still going to vote for him. And that is politics. They are very...
Why did he manage to endear himself so much to the youth?
You know, how it is done, you know, is based on a lot
don't forget, we have a youthful population in Nigeria.
We have a youthful, but youths are not the only people in Nigeria. And not all the youths, you know, we vote for one particular candidate. The votes will still be divided. So let us wait for the result.
Are you not giving Kwankwaso any chance at all? You have not spoken about him.
Because he has not really gone beyond his area of comfort. So that's why, you know, it's not been his... and it's a very brilliant man. Kwankwaso is a very, very brilliant man. And I have a lot of respect for him. But politically, he has not been able to step out of his comfort zone. Maybe if he did, if people know him better, maybe they will be more inclined, you know, to want to work with him. You know, but other than that, you know, I don't know who is going to win among them, but that is the way I'm going to, you know, come down to my choice.
Let us come home.
Okay.
To Osun State.
Okay.
I said you are a Yoruba Patriot.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And you also are an Ijesha Patriot.
Yes.
And you are very active in Ijesha politics
Yes.
and organizing Ijesha land.
Yeah.
Recently, the former governor announced the creation of a university sited in Elisha.
Yeah.
It has been subject of controversy.
Yeah.
Some are saying that Ijeshas want to appropriate the university, that a university is supposed to be like a big family, a community of people regardless of ethnic or color. Why do you want to treat it as a myopic product and object?
Well, if there are some people, you know, carrying that narratives, they are very ignorant, very, very ignorant. You see, the fact that we want a university in Ijesha land does not mean we want it to be a local university. Because I'm very close to the movers and shakers of Ijesha society, I can tell you with authority that what we have as vision is for this university to be a world class. It doesn't mean that we own the university 100%, but it's a university of Elisha, in Elisha. So it's going to be, I mean, we have this university at Ife, the Obafemi Awolowo University. The fact that they call it University of Ife then does not mean that it's limited to Ife or anything. But we want a university in Elisha because the Ijesha people are very well educated, very well, you know, they have set examples in so many areas of human endeavor. You know, we have so many of us who are ex-vice chancellors in other places, you know. So why can't we have a university in our land? Why?
Are you aware that workers of the present College of Education
Yes.
are disgruntled?
Yes,
They said they don't like the manner Ijesha leaders are going about this university. That it's supposed to be a universe in a community.
Listen to me. Number one, if you can give me a single example all over the world where there is 100% on every decision, then I will agree with you that maybe we have made a mistake. There is no society, nothing you do in this world will guarantee you 100% support. But that is by the way. Now, if you are talking that, saying that nobody has attended to their
needs and interests,
I won't really want to comment on it because we are taking steps to make sure that whatever needs to be done is done.
On the last note,
whoever needs to be paid is paid.
Will be paid.
But nobody decides for the owner what to do with what he has.
Thank you.
Yeah.
On the last note,
Yeah.
you'll be taking chieftaincy title on the 24th of December.
Yes.
You've always been a journalist. People see you even as an activist. Is it time? Is it by question of age, what you have done, that you're not taking a chieftaincy title?
A lot of things are tied to it, but at the level, you know, which one is operating, if your people say that
it's a reward for honor.
Yes.
It's an honor.
Yes,
beg your
want
pardon.
to give you this.
An honor for what you have done.
Actually, if I wanted to be a chief, I would have been a chief more than almost 2 decades ago. People have been trying to give it to me and I've been rejecting.
But it's time to take it.
But this time I think it is time to take it.
You can't reject it.
I can't reject it.
You can't resist it.
No.
And what's the title, sir?
Bobagunwa.
The Bobagunwa.
The Bobagunwa of Imobi-Ijesha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Viewers, that has been the Bobagunwa of Imobi-Ijesha that will be installed on the 23rd of December in the ancient town of Imobi-Ijesha. The program has been Pertinent Questions, and my guest has been Chief Remi Oyeyemi. Until next week when I come your way, don't forget to follow us on our social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Western Spring Television. And you can also watch us live and subscribe by YouTube at Western Spring Television. I remain yours sincerely, Femi Adefila. Bye for now.